Hello, welcome. The divisional round of the playoffs are done. The championship games are set. We have a repeat and we got a little bit something new. But me and Don, we're going to talk about the week and the championship games coming up here on Full Time Sport Network through the table. Oh, yes. Divisional round playoffs are done. We are set for championship weekend. And what around it is going to prove to be, I'm going to talk about that with my buddy, my friend,
What's up,
Donnie
Rich?
Shoemaker. How are you, bud?
I'm good. I'm good. It was a good week. Getting some cool weather down here, so I can't complain. My plants are getting cool weather. Great plants, that is, are getting
Hey,
cool weather that they need in order to produce this spring. So pretty excited about that.
heck,
But as far as football is concerned, it was a bittersweet week for a lot of people. Uh,
yeah,
games
yeah, it
were
was.
games were tight, man. There was only one game that I expected to be a lot closer that wasn't. But as far as like
Mhm.
personally, I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Oh, dude, not too bad, man. We had a doctor appointment today. Everything's looking good. So
Oh, good. Thank
we're
good. Thank
just
God.
we're just waiting on whenever he wants to show up, man.
I was like, it's knocking on the door.
Oh, it's
I
been
mean, shoot.
close.
He's like, no, I want February.
Right? We'll see when he wants to come, man. But yes, this week we had the divisional round of the playoffs in the NFL. Um, it it was a decent round of playoff games. I mean, I'd have to
Yeah.
say, um, first, Kansas City, Jacksonville.
Is that where we're
Um,
gonna start? All right,
yeah,
wait.
yeah, of course
I
that's where we're
figured.
going to
I
start. That was
figured.
that was the first game. Um, well, yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first game. It was like uh tip my hat off to the Jags a little bit. Um,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think a little bit. I mean, yeah. All right, so the game started like everybody knows. Mahomes gets hurt first play. Um, he looked pretty hobbly there for a little bit. I was a little
right.
surprised that they brought him back so fast, but I mean, he's a player. He wants to win. He's guided this team this long, so yeah, I understand him wanting to come back in. Excuse me, but honestly, he played as good as he could with the hobble. And I mean, the passes they weren't as on point because you could see like when they do the replay, like the playback, he'd kind of like stumble a little bit. Um,
Right.
and I hate taking away from the Jags. Maybe that was the case why they were so close. But then
Yeah.
again, the Jags seem to catch up in the fourth quarter, which realistically, if you're playing the game, I know you're talking about fatigue, but your injury, I think, should feel better by that far in the game. I don't know. I don't know the extent of it. I'm pretty sure he's going to play this week. You would
Uh,
say
uh
so?
yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
I don't think there's a way
if he
Patrick
runs
Mahomes
out
to
there like a
not
couple plays
play.
later,
It would be ludicrous. But man, Travis Kelsey had a day, career high, 14 catches, man, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns.
doing what
He really broke that open. Um, so good good game for him. The Chiefs they go on, they do what the
The
Chiefs
Chiefs
do.
too. Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes does uh what they do, and
yeah.
I mean the Jags kept it close.
They did. They did. Much closer than their last game. Um,
No joke, man.
I mean, and all their wide receivers career high, all the way across the board. People are gonna say, like I said about the injury, but man, I think they played their hearts out. I think Lawrence kind of was like, "Hey, I can be a contender." You know, I don't know if it would have changed if it was. I would assume they probably get one more touchdown as far as like Kansas City is concerned. But I mean, it looked like the Jags were ready to play. They ran out of time.
Yeah, yeah. It wa- it was good. It was good. Um, Giants Eagles. This was, whew,
That was a
man.
nightmare of a game.
Like Eagles fly, man. 38-7. I mean, Jalen Hurts was really good,
Yeah,
and the the Giants, dude.
dude,
They,
they know what they were doing. It seemed like. I mean,
oh yeah, Hurts
they
was
ran
in.
away with it pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean,
And they were
Philly's
up
offense
28. Yeah,
controlled this. I mean, just overwhelmed them, dude.
I
Like,
honestly don't know. That's the thing. It's like this was the people that are they're giants. Jones and Barkley. This was their little moment to shine, and they didn't do so. I know they made it to the playoffs, but how does that look? Because I
yeah,
mean, this is not only a division. I mean, this is part of your division, so this was even more than just like your standard divisional playoff game.
regular game. Yeah, this was a game that you wanted to compete in
At
and
least show face. Yeah,
do well. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not like Saquon had a horrible day. I mean, it's hard to do anything with 9 carries.
yeah. I was gonna say 9 K. Oh, they fell behind so fast, dude.
Yeah, and then he
Then the
only
Eagles.
had 2 catches.
So, and I mean, and they were firing at everybody as far as the Eagles are concerned. Nobody was left, unattended. Everybody got the ball that game. Uh, and shoot, man, they're looking good.
Right. They look good. They look like a team that's ready to fight for the division, the conference championship,
Yeah,
and they're going to be big I don't know if they'll be big favorite, but I assume they'll be favorites in that game.
yeah. Honestly, I think that game is the Super Bowl game. I get it with the other two people, but the other two teams.
Mhm.
But I think these are the two best teams in the league that are going to play this coming up week.
Yep. Yep. Well, that was Saturday's games. On Sunday, we saw the Bengals uh beat my Bills 27-10. Um I to be nice, Cincinnati showed up to play. Um our offense was lackluster, man. It was not a game I was happy with.
Yeah,
Except for, I'm glad it took the whole game for Josh Allen to turn the ball over. That was a good sign. And
yeah.
if you're telling me Josh Allen is taking care of the football, I expect to be winning that freaking game.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Like
It was like he was almost hesitant. Whole team
yeah,
seemed a little
it,
bit nervous.
dude, it was like horrible. I mean, Cincinnati, they, I mean, that first half, it
They played
was.
to win, man. They were looking good. I mean, honestly, they're looking. I know they kind of stumbled at the beginning of the season, but I mean, they're looking about what they were looking like at the end of last year when they were in this position.
Yeah, so I mean, Joe Burrow, I mean, he was good when he needed to be. That offense has a lot of freaking talent.
Yeah, it does.
They they match up well with Kansas City. So the Kansas City Bengal game, I expect it to be a really, really good, competitive, huge title fight.
I can agree. I mean, this is where we're at. That's what I'm saying. This is where we're at last year. Them versus the Chiefs in the AFC match. Uh, I think it's gonna be a good game. It's a revenge game for the Chiefs, and it's a proving point for the Bengals because I really don't think the Bengals don't get enough credit. I feel like, I feel like they were downgraded at the beginning of the season.
Y- Yeah, yes,
They
because
only have win,
everybody
eight wins
had
from Vegas, right?
yeah, well people had we thought that division also was going to be a bit different. Pittsburgh was uncompetitive.
That's true.
Like I mean, yeah, so there's that. And then everybody's real high up on Buffalo, man. So
Yeah, they were, dude.
and you have to figure Pat Mahomes is going to get his, so eventually he's going to get you. So they went with Pat Mahomes getting you this time. So they had Pat Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs above the Bengals
Yeah.
because you know that is putting their chips in the Pat Mahomes basket.
I
Otherwise,
guess
yes,
it's
you're
a
right.
safety net.
Cincinnati should be over Kansas City.
Cincinnati is really good for
Yeah,
real.
they match up well. Okay, what they're three, the last three matchups Cincinnati's won, I think it is.
I don't know that. I know that Cincinnati's won out what like the last nine. Is it 9 games now after that win this week?
Yeah. So I mean
I mean, they're
that
playing good. They have the one of the youngest teams with skill players. Uh,
dude and their skill players are good. They're good
so
and they're
yeah, very good.
young.
And I mean, Higgins didn't even really ball out like he normally does, and they still. I mean, Chase obviously is going to be the number one, but I mean, they got like the next man up kind of situation. They got people to fill in those spots in case somebody gets hurt. I think you know as long as Burrow stays healthy, I really do think I hate saying one player, but I mean he's good, and I think
What
everybody's going to like question that because I hope not anymore. But he got hurt, that first year right when he came out, so we were kind of unsure about his status. But I mean, these last 2 years, he's really proved himself. I think that whole team's really proven himself, and I don't want to say that I don't have a team and stuff like that, but man, I'm rooting for these guys. They're not my team, but I do appreciate a lot of players on that team.
yeah.
You know,
It's it's a very competitive team. It is. To wrap up the divisional playoff round, Dallas went to San Francisco, and San Francisco started off pretty good. It was a good game by San Francisco. Early touchdown, then the two teams really battled, and San
yeah,
Francisco's defense uh, bend not break. They held it.
yeah. It
Even
wasn't a blowout game, but
yeah, Dallas had a late opportunity, but it just didn't work out for them. So
it,
Dallas for the 50 millionth straight year.
we made it. They made it. I say we. I'm from Texas, but you know what I mean. Like they made it further than they have. They
True.
won at least that first round. In 12-19, that's not too far of a game. They slugged it out. Think what it comes down to, just like we've all been saying for a little bit. I mean, even Dak came out and was like, "This is my fault." And time and time again, what are we doing? Uh, Paying these guys a lot of money. Yeah, Pollard got hurt in the end of the first half. He didn't come
Yeah.
back. I think it was a broken ankle. Is that what it was? Ended up being, and
Yeah.
that really stopped their run game because they building this run game around him. And I think it's time. If I'm a Dallas fan, I'd move away from Dak and Elliott. I think it's
I,
about time. And Elliott's coming out right after they lose. I'll take a pay cut to stay on the team. So what's that tell you? I mean, yeah, he got he got several. I mean, I think he got like 7, 8 touchdowns this year.
hmm
I mean, that's goal line work. Pollard's doing all the work until the goal line. Then he's getting the ball at the goal line, which I'm not hating on the dude because I get different body frames. I just feel like they're paying these guys more than they're worth at this point.
Yeah, I mean, knowing Jerry Jones, he's going to stick with um, Dak and Elliott. I think he'll pay Pollard what he can, but eventually Pollard is not going to be paid what he's worth, and he'll have no choice but to go somewhere else.
I hope not, dude.
They have a good wide
That is
receiving
a bad
core.
call. As a business person, I get it. You got so much money, you don't know what to do with when you're Jerry Jones, but it's like that's a bad business decision, man. Zeke has been failing for you for years since he signed that contract. Right when he signed that contract, his performance declined. I mean, Prescott's pretty much said, like, I'm not the quarterback for this team, and like in so many words. And I'm not hating on the guy, but football is not his first concern, which I do not blame him at all. I mean, you get have a long life after football. I get that, but you want somebody who is dedicated to that team. And
Who they? I mean,
I know they finished so high. Who are they going to get? I get what you're saying.
right? Like, I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't. I could
I
be
think
wrong,
if
but I
anything,
don't think they're
Prescott
going
stays.
anywhere.
Elliott's going to have to. If he does stay, he's going to have to be fine sitting in the wings for much less than he's getting paid.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how they handle it in the off season. But for San Francisco, they get to continue and go on and play another football game.
And
Uh,
that's what I'm saying.
Purdy at the helm. Um, like
He got the W technically, but that's not going to win you a Super Bowl. That kind of performance.
right. I
He
don't think
protected
San
the ball.
Francisco's defense can do what they had to do to beat the Cowboys. I think Philadelphia is a whole nother bag of worms than Dallas. So I think you
Oh,
are right.
definitely.
Like they're going to need more than 19 points
Oh yeah, for sure.
to
I mean,
beat
no turnovers is cool, but
Philadelphia.
19 for 29. You know, four more and you're at 50%. Four less, you're at 50% catch it. Almost.
Right? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have to pass the ball and get a touchdown.
Yeah.
Uh,
It wasn't great. He wasn't great. Like he was better than Dak was on the day.
Well, he's throwing those interceptions, which is crazy because that was the one thing we said last week is as long as he doesn't throw interceptions, because they could have won this game without those interceptions. And then, because he actually scored a touchdown, a passing touchdown. So he
Right.
got the two interceptions, and that's what cost him the game. And that's the thing. And like down here, it's not like an irritated. This is going to be our next year's our year. It's somber down here, man. People like legitimately know something's got to change because we were right. They were right there. Right there.
Right. And
And
how many times can you be right there before you got to look at it and
I
you got to
mean,
be like, all
saying
right.
this team is one of the best teams in the NFL right now.
And
That's what
you've
I'm saying.
changed coaches and the same thing's happening.
I mean, they're getting further, and he really. I mean, I I get it. Like, it's just like he didn't get Zeke when he was the best he was. I don't know. I don't think it's coaching. I think it's players right now. I don't because coaching usually down here it's like they're agitated. Like this should have been our year, but whatever. But this time it's like, all right, we were there. Our players just weren't doing it for us.
Right. Something like you said, something's got to change. And we might uh, we might be saying the same thing in Buffalo. I don't know what it is, but how many times you gonna go up the hill?
You
Like,
know,
you got to get
no,
over that
you're right.
hill, dude.
That's what
You
I'm saying.
eventually. I don't care how many times you get up to the top of the
Yeah,
hill. You can't get over the hill.
yeah. And
Like,
if you don't get
come
up,
on. So, I mean, I'm a Dallas Maverick fan. We went through the same thing with Avery Johnson was the coach. We were really good. We could only get so far in the playoffs though. We could
and
only get
eventually, yeah, you guys.
so far. So Mark Cuban and our general managers got together and the right call was fire Avery Johnson, bring in a new coach. Even though he got us to that point.
Yeah,
It's just what's there. And then it could be Dallas and Buffalo are looking at the same thing. I am too close to the situation for Buffalo. I'll commenting on it and talking about it. I don't really know what that change is. I have to put more logical thought and sense into it instead of the emotions of this horrible weekend. Like I'm sorry it's bad. 27-10 is horrible. It's unacceptable. I don't know who or what or if it's harsh to say who answers for this, but like Buffalo. That's never wavering, man. Always Bills
I
Mafia
know. You've
forever.
been through way worse than this. As
Yes,
far as a Buffalo fan, it does suck that
yeah.
you even kind of hinted at maybe Allen. Well,
Look,
potentially. I know you didn't say that, but
I want
you
us
know,
to do
it's
everything
that
with
willy
the
nilliness
players.
with the balls, those interceptions. I mean, you can blame it on y'all not having a run game, uh, but still at the same time, your team isn't
But it's decision
around.
making we're talking about here. It's decision making.
No, but Buffalo's
It,
not like a run heavy team. They're supposed to be like a pass heavy
a
team.
gut, yeah, a fast
You
pace
know, yeah,
with it. Yeah,
gunslinger.
that's how
I'm
it.
supposed to do that. Um,
Yeah,
it,
yeah. Look, I want Allen to improve, and I want it to be Allen. I want Devin Singletary to improve, and I want to do this with the guys we have. But if changes need to be made, like I said, I don't know what those changes are. Then like something eventually has to give at some point
for
because you
real.
can't keep on getting to the same point. We even changed it for this year. Last year it was on the road. This year we had the game at home. This is
Yeah,
lock, stock, barrel, dude. Like a playoff
it was
game
a
in
cool snow
Buffalo.
game too, right?
Yes, we
It
live
was.
here. This is
I mean, Cincinnati is snow cold too. I mean,
true, but
but
it's not
it's
Western New
not up.
York,
Yeah,
dude.
it's not upstate New York, right? Buffalo's upstate
West
west.
Northwest New
Okay.
York, yeah. So don't talk to me about the weather.
I know.
Um,
I just like to, like I like snow.
no,
It's
no,
cool.
right, yeah, no,
Maybe
heck
that's why
yeah.
I'm down here. It's like I don't see snow that often. So like when
Hey,
I see it on the games, I'm like, cool snow. Like I'm a
the
little kid.
teams
But
up
you're
north,
right,
dude, we
man.
love games in snow, man. This was a game you would expect, but Buffalo, no, like not even a second thought.
I definitely felt like they were supposed to get a lot closer. I mean,
Yeah.
I like Cincinnati, man. I
Oh
think they're going
yeah,
to beat the Chiefs this coming up week.
but Cincinnati
But
defense is not that good.
not,
Our
yeah, I felt like
offense
he was
is
a little
better.
hesitant. I
Our
felt like he
offense is
was.
better than
And I
that.
mean, Diggs is coming. He's definitely a veteran. He's,
He
how
is
many
a
more years does
veteran.
he have? Davis,
Who can
he's been in the
say?
league for what, 5, 6 years? Atlanta, right? He started. I mean,
It's go time.
this is the time. You got to bring the juice. Like,
Like the window
what's
of
going on here?
that's what I'm saying. The window of opportunity with this group
Yeah,
is
because they're both
very,
top tier
very
wide
close.
receivers, and y'all have always struggled. I mean, over the last years when you're building this team, you've struggled with the run game, and I get that. And you're still putting Singletary first, which is great. You're showing loyalty. You're
It's Cook's
finishing too
job
high.
next year. I
to
can
get a
almost
top
guarantee
running
it.
back, really. Uh, but what's
Cook
going
might
on?
be Cook might be able to be a top running back. He might.
Maybe. I just feel like you guys do like this like mediocre tandem running back kind of situation.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. I
and,
think
and it
we
gets the job
just need
done.
to wait. We need to wait for Najee Harris to get pissed off in Pittsburgh and bounce, and then throw money at Najee Harris.
I mean, how many?
I know it's a lot harder than that.
Yeah, it's money. It's the cap. How much is your cap? How much are you paying these other guys?
Yeah, and who else is going to try to throw money at Najee Harris too?
But all I know is Allen looks a little flustered when he's
Yeah,
losing these games. Now you can tell he's much more upset about it, and I get that. You know. Uh,
yeah,
1 second. Let me look. Look,
yeah.
look. But just because you're frustrated, that doesn't matter because
Right.
the Bills have built this team around Allen.
Hmm.
And honestly, I was really bummed for you. I didn't call you on Sunday because I knew I was gonna kind of like mess with you. So I called you Monday, and I figured you didn't answer because you were like, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to talk about the Bills game because I know that's why he's calling me."
No, I
And
didn't see. I didn't see the call. I was laying in bed already.
it just it stinks, man.
Yeah, it's a bummer. And in the same place, but to have the game at home, and it was worse because at least in Kansas City we were competitive, man,
No,
and
definitely,
we were right there, and that was Josh Allen, dude. Like
yeah,
he didn't cost us the game there. That was Kansas City just having just enough time left.
yeah,
That was giving Pat Mahomes too much time. That's all that was. But
yeah.
this was not giving Burrow too much time.
Nah,
This
yeah,
this
yeah.
was
It's a little like lackadaisical.
we were down and we stayed down and we tried for miracles and it didn't work. So it's on the next year. But something's got to change. I don't know if it's just guys work harder. I hope that's all it is. Guys just work harder. I don't want any of them to be gone and replace you to try to get something different going on. I want them to work harder and be better. That's what I want. But, and I hope that's the thing that needs changing because the other things that get changing, that's people's jobs. And nobody
Yeah.
likes to see people lose their job.
No, you're right, but that's the way it's gonna be because y'all held on to everybody this season, this off season. So coming
Yeah.
into this off season, and y'all didn't. I guess you guys what? No, did you get no? You got right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 years in a row, right here.
Yeah.
It's hard, it's hard saying like it's the play. You know, we have good enough players. We everything's great. We just play because the thing is, you pretty much are playing the same team. If anything, on paper, you played an easier team.
I would say.
You know, I personally don't think so, but you know, Vegas would say yes.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of those teams, going on to what is upon us, the NFL championship games, man. First, they'll both be on Sunday. First is going to be Eagles 49ers.
Lay down.
Vegas expects this to be a decently close game. Um, I, dude, I'm the Eagles look fantastic.
I know,
It, it,
man.
it's
I want the Eagles to win. I do. I'm a 49ers fan. I think they really did put a good team together. I just feel like everything that the Eagles have been through, progressing at the end of last year, really proving themselves coming into this year. I mean, Hurts is Hurts deserves it. The whole team deserves it. I mean,
D-
if they don't win this year, it'll be such a heartbreak for them because I mean they are playing at a top level.
Oh, they look class all year.
You know what I know they've looked yes, but I mean they've really dialed it in. I mean, this is a team that I don't think anybody's going to take lightly for years to come. I mean, Hurts doesn't look like he's going anywhere.
Right.
Uh,
And you have to think 2 of the 3 games they lost, Hurst wasn't even there.
yeah, they were easy games, and I get that. A perfect season's hard.
But with Hurts, they only lost 1 game this year. Like, this is a really good team, and when things are ticking, nobody's beating them. Like,
They really are good.
but the 49ers are going to throw together a game plan. They're going to go in Philadelphia. They are going to do their very best. Um,
They are,
I
and
I
they have
don't
something to
think
prove.
no, I think the 49ers, I think this is a decent matchup, but I think it's one in the end. Philadelphia, if the game is close, Philadelphia is going to come out. They can probably pull the game off, and they'll win the close game. But
Definitely. I
c-
mean, yeah, they have the better run game. The 49ers. Um, I think equally as far as like AJ Brown uh, and 49ers, we're looking at Debo Samuels. I think they're pretty much on the same level. Uh, it's the quarterback. I think that's going to make the difference. And Sanders is no way as good as MCM, but what I'm saying is like
right,
all that combined, I just feel like the defense of the Eagles will be able to at least slow down McCaffrey. Not
yeah,
stop him, but slow him down. I mean, he's not gonna throw one, run one in, and then catch one on this game. But man, the Eagles are so good right now. It's stupid. Like even just
oh,
like
dude,
fathoming it, the thought process. I was gonna say fathom, but even just like thinking about how good they've got this year. I mean, yeah, we put Hurts pretty far up there on our quarterback list, but man, they've showed face.
dude,
And
he's been really good. Miles Sanders rushed for over 12,000 yards, over 10 touchdowns. AJ Brown's caught over 10 touchdowns, almost 1,500 yards, almost 90 catches. Like, they did really, really well. Getting AJ Brown made them better, and I thought they were going to be good anyway. And
what do they have to give to get that guy? You know what I'm saying? It made it made no sense for Tennessee to get rid of him.
I
So
mean, maybe to them it did, and maybe they had a plan, but whatever their plan was, it totally backfired them because they went from because did they get the no, Kansas City got the number 1 seed last year, right? Or
um,
was it Tennessee?
I thought it was I know Tennessee had a bye week.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. And then they lose that division game.
Right out the gate. Yeah.
And it's like, what? And then you called it. You were like, I don't like that was not a good loss, dude. And then they don't win their division. They go from running away with the division to losing out to the Jaguars, who were the worst team in football, or coached by the worst coach in football. They might have not been the worst team because what a turnaround! Holy cow!
Yeah.
Like, was Urban Meyer that poor of a coach? And this he had a good team and they were really bad, or does Jacksonville have Coach of the Year?
I think I think Jacksonville came together. I really do. I I'm very impressed with Jacksonville, and I
Yeah.
liked them because of Robinson. But like we talked about last week, I mean, the team's so much more this right now. Lawrence really came on. I think the whole team's ready to play. They're a younger
Hmm.
team, but even getting just this far, I mean, you're talking
Yeah.
about a team that did not make the playoffs. They were like almost a laughing stock there for a second, and just to pull it around to get to where they are now, uh, good for them. I
Yeah.
think I think this team's going to be fairly well.
But
Lawrence,
it is a moot point though because I don't think Tennessee wins any of these games either.
no,
Because Cincinnati and Kansas City, who will face each other again in
that's
Arrowhead
exciting.
Stadium.
Uh,
Uh, this this looks like this is going to be a huge game, big matchup. Cincinnati matches up really, really good with Kansas City. Um, it it's expected to be a really, really good game. What's your going into this game? What kind of game you expecting? What we expected to see here?
uh, I want to say that since he's going to roll, which I do think they will win. It's hard just not giving credit because I wasn't really a huge Chiefs fan. I'm still not, but you got to give them credit. They built a strong team. They've been running the AFC for quite some time now. Yeah, they lost last year to this team, and I do think the team is just as strong this year as they were last year. And Kansas might be a tad bit disadvantaged, or I don't want to say the word weaker because that's not really the case. But I mean, this is the end of the season. Schuster was not as good as Hill. Did not really work out
Hmm.
the same way. Kelsey is always going to be a staple. I just feel like overall the Bengals have a stronger team. And is it going to be a runaway game? I don't think so. We've seen Pat Mahomes come back, crazy throws. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to run that team. But I definitely think the Bengals are going to come out victorious.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a really, really good uh quarterback matchup. Um, Cincinnati does. You would have to give them the edge in the running game.
Definitely. I
Um,
think I think besides, I know like tight ends, people would consider that like, secondary or, your wideouts. It's
but the
even
tight
insane.
end's
But like
huge.
the way they use Kelsey, I mean, he's pretty
Yes.
much
You know,
one of their wide receivers. But yes, he's a tight end. But also, I think like overall, just in general, since he has a better wide receiving core, better running,
I'd give. Yeah, I would.
they're a younger team. I think their
No,
defense is better. I mean, Kansas City isn't like a very stout defense. They can hold their own, but it's not like they're stopping a lot of teams.
no. I think. And I this does not by any means. Uh, am I saying that Cincinnati is so great? But I do think Cincinnati is better than Kansas City, like you're saying. Like I do. The question it will be, can they protect Burrow? Because they have had points, little areas to which they can't protect Burrow.
No, that's
I
true.
mean, they protected him pretty decently against Buffalo, which was very disappointing. Very disappointing. Um, so can they continue that? Um, it's going to be a very highly contested game. Arrowhead is going to be rocking and going, and that's a tough place to go
Yeah.
into and win, especially in the playoffs. But Burrows, you know, he's proving himself. Uh, he he's beaten Mahomes before. I think Cincinnati's pretty confident going into this game. Uh, you know, it's an Arrowhead, so who knows? But I think Cincinnati can win this, and you know, yeah, I'll call
I, th-
Cincinnati for this. It's
I
going
think
to be an incredible game.
yeah, dude, it will be a good game. They want it more too. Not saying that Kansas doesn't want it. I just feel like they got right there. They played the big game and they lost, and so to get back to even to this spot's impressive. I think they're gonna play a good game. See about in February where that goes.
Right, yeah. So that's going to be a good game to watch. And like we said, that all eyes are going to be on San Francisco defense.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's the win loss right there.
y- yeah, because that's a really good. I know we keep saying that's a really good Philadelphia team, and the offense is really good for San Francisco too. Very good skill position players. I mean the Purdy is not. He's not putting up Jalen Hurts number. He's not going to.
But he
I
protects the ball. He's, I mean, he's doing fairly well,
Yeah, no,
but
he
not Hurts,
is
right? Not Hurts level.
right. So it's if San Francisco's defense can come to play, I don't want to throw shade or any disrespect. I don't think that defense is good enough to contain Philly's offense. But hey, that's why they go play the game. I'm taking Philly in this game.
I think smart money is probably
Yeah, it's in Philly too, and you know how those some of those games can be. Sometimes it don't matter where you play, man. Like
no,
it,
but there's something to
sometimes
be
it
said about
does.
playing a playoff game in your home stadium. And just like I said, I think Cincy wants to win it more. I think Philly wants it more.
That's a
They've been
team that
building up. They've been
plays
building up,
hungry.
man. We're going from last year, mid last season. Like they were like, should we give Hurts a spot? Like, should we try him out? All this stuff to them making, pretty much they're one game away from the Super Bowl.
And this is a very, very, very winnable game for the Eagles.
As long as the Eagles they can shut down the pocket pretty quickly. I think he's not. I'm not saying doesn't possess the skill, but he's young enough where that's going to panic in a big game like that. Maybe not, but they can wrap that up. I think that they'll really slow down that game. You can only hand the ball off so many times, so you're going to have to get the passing game involved. If they can shut that down, I think that's a good chance that the Eagles could run away with it.
Yeah,
Because the
and
way it looked last game, if they scored one touchdown, because I mean it's pretty much field goals the last game.
and we'll see what San Francisco learned because let's not forget this is their second NFC Championship game
I know,
in a row.
and this time
A team
they're
we were
better.
talking about who had no business being in the playoffs last year,
No,
and
but they said that they were good enough, and they were, and they're better now.
right,
So
they got a lot better. How much they're a lot closer. How close really are they? We'll find out this weekend. It's going to be a close, good game, but I think Philly's quite a bit better.
I would love to
Um,
see a Philly Cincy game. I think that'd be awesome.
Philly, Cincy, I yeah,
Because I feel
no,
like if somehow the 49ers do win, Cincinnati's going to roll over the 49ers.
yeah, that defense isn't good enough. It's the same
They're
problem,
very good, but you know, I don't know.
right?
I just feel like That's gonna be a hard team to stop, especially 2 years in a row being in the Super Bowl. They won it, but we got to finish this week, see how it goes. I think that all 4 games are gonna. I mean, all 2 games. I mean, the 2 games are gonna be really good. Last week was really good. That's the best part about us dwindling down on games is like the the competition in these teams. It's fun to watch.
No, it is. Yeah, from the weekend, Tony Pollard's broken leg. He'll need surgery. Um, the Giants have come out. They're going to move forward with Daniel Jones at quarterback. Um, Andy Reid, uh, he said Patrick Mahomes is good. So, uh,
I mean, they paid him $500 million. I'm pretty sure as long as he can walk, he's good.
yeah, yeah, no kidding. But man, championship weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Um, it'll
So the
be
Giants
a
gonna keep Saquon too, or just Daniel
yeah.
Jones?
No, they're gonna keep Saquon.
Uh,
They're gonna keep Saquon, I think. But yeah, um, Dallas is gonna be interesting to watch in the off season.
yeah,
I don't think much will change, but like how long, and it's the same with Buffalo. So you know, I'm not pulling any punches here. How how many times can you keep on getting to the same spot before? But first, you have to figure out what the issue is and who knows. Uh, Jacksonville, I think they're trending fine. They're good. I would just look to improve the squad. So they have a solid offseason. I think Jacksonville can be right back in the playoffs next year.
probably.
Yeah, the Giants are. Uh, they proved this year that they've gotten better. They they'll need to fortify some depth, improve. Everybody's going to look to improve, try to close this gap on Philly and Dallas. Uh, the 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 playoffs have been pretty good. Looking forward to now I'm looking forward to the off season and how everybody prepares to get ready for next year.
I gotta
But
compliment you, Britt. You handled that very well. Talking about the Bills, man, for real. Like slow clap for sure, man. We talked about it for a brief second, and then you even like rolled back around because you're like, I don't want to talk about it too much, and then you actually really did. So I mean, I'm sorry, man. I know it's a game, but still at the same time. I was reading this peer review paper that talked about like how like not saying infatuated, but like so like close knit to these teams that people get, because like I used to just be like, hi, like it's just a game, whatever. But man, like people invest so much into these teams, so like I get it, man. Like it stinks, man. Uh, I I hate saying it, but I don't think Gallen's going to help you get there. I think you sell him high and you move on. Uh,
I
that's
I
just my
I
opinion
mean,
on the matter.
dude, like moving on from Allen, there it I don't know the only way that this would work. I mean, the only is because we can't change our style of offense. That's Buffalo Bills football, my friend.
No, I feel that.
So,
But you haven't had a decent running back since McCoy, and that was like the end of his career. It's like even
eh,
that was kind of like, it was good, but it wasn't like great. Just
no, yeah,
you
yeah,
focused you were building your team's been building around this quarterback that's supposed to be a franchise quarterback, but
he doesn't have the proper style of running back.
he, yeah, you can say that, but he's real loose with the ball. Yeah, he makes it up for it, but like I don't care if you get 4 touchdowns, you do 2 interceptions, try to get that, and then like how many
Eventually, those
sacks
two
you're gonna get,
interceptions are gonna like because there comes to a point where two interceptions you throw in a game. No, you're lucky to win that game. Like there are games like you're not winning that game.
and that's what I'm saying. In your division, better. The Jets are
Yeah,
better this year. Miami looked great. I don't know what's going on with Tua. We'll talk about that
that
more in the
that
offseason. Uh,
yeah.
and even the Patriots, Mac
They
Jones isn't
they're not going anywhere.
by any means. So, and Bill Belichick, I mean, you can't discredit. He is like one of the best probably coaches that I've ever coached in the NFL. Or like, I mean, I can't say all sports, but like he's got a mind for what his sport is, and
Right.
he can put it on the paper and do what he needs to do. Uh, it's
Yeah,
like,
he does what he needs to do, even when he's got to cheat to do it. That's what he needs to do. He'll do
I
it.
mean, you say that, but you tell me 31 billionaires shut
Hey,
them down. So
yeah,
obviously, that's neither here nor there. But like this was supposed to be the time that the Bills like took advantage of this. Like,
yeah,
you know, everybody
yeah.
thought the Patriots were like going to be whatever, and nobody even was thinking about Miami or the Jets. And now you got pretty much three teams
That
that
makes
are.
it even so much more important that
That's what
when
I'm saying.
we
And
did
y'all didn't
this,
really pull off a lot of division wins this season. You lost a lot of division games.
it took. We lost our first three division games. Like this year was concerning, man.
Yeah.
Like it was a very concerning year, and that's why these questions are popping up. And then we go into the playoffs. It doesn't get any better. Exact same thing.
If
Exact same
anything, I felt
thing.
like it got worse.
Uh, it is worse.
And that's what I'm saying. Like
It is worse.
you beat the first playoff game barely on a team that was missing their best player, who like literally when he was out this whole season, the times he was out, they weren't doing as well. They were
No,
winning the
we
game,
did not. We did not have to fight very hard to control that game, and that game was really
and it
close.
was 31 to 30.
If two is in
For the
there, we have to play
field.
harder and we have to fight harder, and we have a bigger chance of losing that game. But I think if two was there, we would have played different. We would have played so lackadaisical.
But
I say that, and we
you
played
say
like that.
against a better team,
Yeah,
and it felt like you
yes,
were just more not like lazy, but yeah, it felt like
yeah.
sluggish. The whole team felt real sluggish watching.
I don't know if the fishing report for this week was really good, so they wanted to get out and
The night
you
before,
know,
they were just out there reeling them in, and then they were like, "All right, I guess we got to go play some ball today."
yeah, I'd be like, no, that's a good fishing report, boys. Next week, we don't want to be playing football. Let's go join Justin Herbert and go fish, dude. Get in a couple rounds of golf. Let's hit it early.
I mean, shoot, some of those tuners are like a grand, so it's. I mean,
But
that
it's
really doesn't mean anything to somebody who's making like thousands of dollars per game. But it kind of just like the growing aspect of what your quarterback needs to be. Is he going to get there? I mean, I thought maybe he'd get there this year. He didn't.
and then like you have to really honestly and ask is Josh Allen maxed out?
You
So
hit a
the only
plateau.
way things are going to get better is if we make the team around him better now.
Yeah, I mean, running back, improve the offensive line, which really like your team holds the pocket fairly decently. It's not
It
like
seemed
you're
like
like
we
out
tried.
there
We
like,
brought in
oh,
Hines. What did we bring in Hines for?
and that's the thing. That's the difference between Allen and Dak. Is like Dak has all around whole team around him. I mean, they spare no expense. Their defense is great. I mean, their Parsons got like pretty much defense player of the year last year. I think he did. And then you got Lamb. You got all these guys. You got Pollard. You got Zeke. All these people around you. Schultz. I mean,
But I think just my gut is with Buffalo. We roll this ship out next year.
the same thing.
We're gonna roll this ship out. Yeah.
If you don't
Yes.
improve your running game
Dude,
or
Josh.
your
No,
defense, then I don't. I
No,
don't
we
know why you're
will.
running the same game again.
We.
The only thing I could
I
say
just
is
have
give him more time in the pocket because you can see he gets flustered sometimes. Like
right.
he didn't have enough time to do his reads. But I mean, it's not like the pocket's crushing in like half a second. Your pocket's usually open for a good 2 seconds, if not more. I mean, that should be enough time to do all your reads if you're practicing
Yeah.
correctly and then throw.
No, yeah, but like, what kind of leash is going to be on McDermott and Allen for next year?
Allen's
But
making no plays. He's like being
we're
told what to
not
do.
we're not moving on. I don't think we're not moving
I
on
don't
from
think so
Allen
either.
in the off
I
season,
don't. But
and I
it's
don't think Dallas is going to move on from Dak either.
no. If anything, they let go of Elliott.
They're going to
I'm,
double down.
they probably will. Dallas
I
is
don't.
good at doubling down. That's one thing I know about Dallas. They double down. The Bills, the Bills seem like more like a they're really willing to roll the dice. But Allen's a big name, so I get it. Like that's a big roll. And realistically, they're picking probably what right now they're going to pick like 27, 28 pick of this draft.
Yeah, but I think we need more competition at the running back position.
Definitely. If Singletary is still your lead running back and you got a guy that
Look,
was supposed to
we're
take him
not.
over, I'm
We're
just
not.
saying,
Hey, I want him to be the best running back in the NFL,
but he's
and
not.
I hope he can be the best
He
running
did
back in the
better last
NFL.
year at this. He got the best of his career running at this game last year.
But we need to bring in another running back and see if Devin can compete because this ain't getting the job done. Same thing in Dallas. They gotta do something because this ain't getting the job done. They're in the same.
Pollard's getting the
They,
job done. It's whether they want to get rid of Zeke. Pollard's
that
good, and
hey,
they're not
I'm
paying
I'm
him
a
nearly
I'm a,
as much, so they could
I,
really open up their cap.
I'm a fan. Well, as much as a non-fan can be, I'm a fan of Pollard, dude. He's I think he's a decent running back.
It is
But these championship games, my friend, they promise to be really really good
very good.
watches. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to next week to recapping it. Unless Santino has anything to say about it, we'll we'll cover the conference championships and preview the big game,
We
dude.
got yeah,
The
we got a week. What was it like 2 weeks away after that?
Oh yeah, because that the awesome Pro Bowl's thrown in there,
Yeah, gotta go to Hawaii.
right? But for me and Donnie, we thank you all for joining us here, Full Time Sport Network. Our thanks to Wraith Energy and Global Mapping Surveys sponsoring the channel, helping us bring good content and a variety of sports and conversations. Check out the YouTube page, and well, you'll find something there for you. But until next week, y'all enjoy the week. Be safe,
Y'all be
and we'll see
safe.
you for our Super Bowl preview.